football fans, we are ready for NFL picks for week number 7 in the league where they play for pay. Great to be back with you guys. Hard to believe it's week number 7 already. We're almost at the halfway point of the season. It is going super fast, just like last year. All right, let's dive right into it. 4 teams on a bye this week. The Colts are on a bye. They're up to 4-2. Came back and beat Cincinnati. The Colts had to have that game. They fell behind big early, did rally to win. Colts up to 4-2 on the bye. Miami up to 3-3, shut out the Jets. The Dolphins are playing some decent football. They really are. They could actually be better than 3-3. Tua gets in at the end. Nice to see him on the field. So the Dolphins 3-3 going into their bye. Baltimore up to 5-1. Got off to a big lead against the Eagles, then got very sloppy in the fourth quarter, but did hold on to win. Baltimore up to 5-1. Then you got Minnesota on a bye this week. Minnesota down to 1-5. Lost to the Atlanta Falcons, who were winless. Gave up 1,000,000 points to the Falcons. And listen, I mentioned this a few weeks ago. Same exact team, different player with the celebrations. The Vikings a few weeks ago were getting bombed by the Colts. Cook goes in, for a touchdown with basically no time left, and he's bunny hopping around. I had a big problem with that. A big problem with it. And I told you about celebrations all over the league and how it's out of control. And ESPN and everyone else, NFL Network, they encourage this stuff. They have like a top 10 celebrations every week. Back to Minnesota. So remember, I got on Cook a few weeks ago. Minnesota is down 23-0 to the winless Falcons at home in Minnesota. Third quarter. Minnesota scores a touchdown. Jefferson goes in for a touchdown. And he starts this crazy dance in the end zone looking like a pterodactyl from Jurassic Park. Like one of these jobs. Flapping his wings. Even his teammates weren't really into it. They wanted to give him like a high five, but then when he was flapping his wings, they kind of got away from him. What in the world are you doing celebrating down 23 to, at that point, 7 in the third quarter to a Falcon team that hadn't won a game? And oh, by the way, Minnesota, you were on your way to going 1-5. What a complete buffoon. And I said Zimmer should have took control of this situation weeks ago. He should have fined Cook, and he should have fined Jefferson here. Fine their ass. Fine their ass. Put a stop to this. Put a stop to this. It's a complete joke. Zimmer's got to go. Cousins has to go. What a complete mockery the Minnesota Vikings have become. A complete mockery. A team that was in the playoffs last year. A team that won a round in the playoffs last year on the road in the Superdome. And this is what they've become. 1-5, lose in your building to Atlanta, who hadn't won a game. And Minnesota, I thought the week before, played well in Seattle. I thought they should have won that game. Apparently, they left their game and their season back in Seattle. And that was it for Minnesota. They've checked out now. And the celebrations, and again, it's the Vikings. Cook, a few weeks ago, Colts are bombing Minnesota. He goes in for a touchdown. He's bunny hopping. I mentioned this. And again here, they're down 23-0 in the third quarter. Jefferson scores, and he's doing this pterodactyl dance. Flapping his wings like we're at Jurassic Park. What a buffoon. A buffoon. A complete buffoon. If I was Zimmer, I would have fined Cook's ass weeks ago, and then Jefferson wouldn't have done this. But no one seems to care. No one seems to care. Zimmer's got to go. Cousins has to go. It's time for the Vikings to start over. I would have fined their asses on the spot and put a stop to this nonsense. These celebrations have gotten out of control. I even saw it the other day on the baseball game. Bellinger hits the game-winning home run, and he hurts himself, with the arm thing. Hurts himself. His shoulder pops out. I've seen it in baseball before. You hit a home run, they're jumping around on home plate, the guy tears his knee. But football is completely out of control. Because football, this is not like the Vikings won, in overtime. They're down 23-0 at the time against the winless Falcons. The Vikings are on their way at that point to being 1-5. And you're doing one of these in the end zone. Even your teammates were looking at you like, what are you doing? Buffoonery. And there's ESPN and NFL Network giving me, the top 10 celebrations and the top 10 high-stepping and the top 10 this and that. Give me a break. Give me a break with all that nonsense. And where's their head coach, Zimmer? Where are you? Where are you? You don't see this? You should have fined Cook's ass weeks ago, and then Jefferson wouldn't have done this. Your team looks like a bunch of buffoons. Yeah, 1-5. We're down 23-0, but I'm gonna do the pterodactyl. Yeah, bunny hop, pterodactyl, bunny hop, pterodactyl. Get real, Minnesota. Get real. It's embarrassing to watch. And if I was the coach, I would have fined both of their asses. And I'll tell you what, I would have fined Cook first weeks ago, and this probably wouldn't have happened a second time. You have to send a message to your team. You have to send a message to your team. It just looks bad. It looks moronic. It just looks moronic when you're celebrating down, 3 scores. You're 1-5. You gave up 40-something points to Atlanta, who hadn't beaten anybody this year. It took you to the third quarter to score on Atlanta. Atlanta's got the worst defense since the Dallas Cowboys. And you're doing the pterodactyl, Jefferson? What's going through your mind? What's going through your mind, Mr. Jefferson? You look like a buffoon. They don't care, though, because they're going to turn on ESPN that night. Top 10 high-stepping, yeah, let's get Jefferson on there. And then Cook bunny hopping, yeah. Who cares about the team? Who cares about the record? I'm going to get mine. I'm going to get mine. Me, 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 me. And you wonder why people have turned off the NFL? Politics aside, how about watching some of this buffoonery? Celebrations all over the place. I mentioned, again, I'm not saying these are bad guys. And they're good players. I mentioned it with J.J. Watt. Baltimore's bombing the Texans a few weeks ago. J.J. Watt makes a play on first down in the backfield, and there he is right to the camera. One of these. Give me a break, Watt. Another team that's 1-5, by the way. 1-5 teams seem to like to celebrate. It's moronic. It looks bad. Where's the head coach? Where's the leadership? And I understand it's a different game. But come on, this is over the top now. This is over the top. I don't expect everyone to be like Bobby Knight on the sidelines, but come on. Have a little discipline. Have a little self-control. Celebrating down 23-0? It's mindless. And it's all over the league, and it doesn't stop. I just talked about this with Minnesota 3 weeks ago, and here we are again. Jefferson, you look like a moronic buffoon. Someone should tell him. What is everyone afraid of? That's my team. You're not celebrating at 1-5 down 23-0 in the third quarter. And if you do, you're getting fined. I guarantee that would put a stop to it. Heat them in the checkbook. That'll put a stop to it. I guarantee it. But no one seems to care. ESPN loves every second of it. Top 10 celebration dances. It's moronic. Moronic. It has to stop. It's a bad look. It looks like you don't care about anybody else but yourself. I couldn't believe the same exact team did the same exact thing at the same exact score, basically. I think it was 23-0 the Colts Vikings, and it was 23-0 here the Falcons will win. It was almost the same exact score. Cook, bunny hopping, Jefferson pterodactyl in it. I mean, what is going on here? And Zimmer, he's got to go. He's got to go and take Cousins with you. The Vikings are a train wreck now. You realize how far they've fallen? And this is a franchise that's never won a Super Bowl. Oh, by the way, what are you guys celebrating exactly? Every time you got a chance to do something in a big spot, you usually fall flat on your face. Like in San Francisco last year. Why weren't you bunny hopping out in the Bay Area last year when the Niners ran over you? Never won a Super Bowl, the Vikings. Never won a Super Bowl. How about we focus on that? Get Zimmer out. Out, out, out. Get him out. And take Cousins with him. I've seen enough of Cousins. He can't complete a pass unless it's a play-action fake. If he just drops back, he can't do anything. Play-action fake, play-action fake, play-action fake. Cousins can only get you so far. He's not the answer. He never was the answer. Get him out and get Zimmer out. Zimmer's lost control. This whole situation is out of hand now. Find their asses. Find their asses. You'll put a stop to this needless celebrations right away. You find one of them, that's it. No one will be celebrating down 31-0 again. That's how I would do it. It just makes you look like a bunch of imbecilic fools. Bunny hop, bunny, pterodactyl, pterodactyl, I'm down 23-0. You buffoon! You silly, mindless buffoon! What are you thinking? You know what they're thinking? Me, 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 me. Me, 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 me. I want to see myself on TV later that night on ESPN. Oh, look, everybody. I'm on the top 10 celebrations. Who cares that my team's 1-5? Who cares that we lost to the winless Falcons? Who cares that we got blown out? Who cares that we were down 23-0? I got in the end zone. Show some love. You just can't hand the ball to the ref. You know what? Even a spike I'd live with. No. It's this elaborate celebration stuff. You didn't win the game in overtime, Mr. Jefferson. You didn't do a damn thing. You lost the game. Again. Nice performance, by the way, Minnesota. Left your game in Seattle. I guess the season that was it for you. You blew that game to Seattle. Why even bother playing the rest of the year, right? The Falcons, who hadn't had a win this year, gave up 1 million points to everyone. They embarrassed you in your building, and you're dancing down 23-0. Zimmer's got to go. He's got to go now. Now. Don't wait and sit Cousins down 2. And the next person that celebrates down multiple scores, find their ass. I guarantee you'll put a stop to it. Everyone's so afraid of everyone now. Oh, we can't say this to the players. Oh, we can't say that to the players. Oh, I can't do this. They're going to be mad at me. They're going to label me something. The media's going to be on me. I'm picking on Jefferson. Stop it. It's out of control now. It's out of control, and I've been saying it for years. I just talked about this 3 weeks ago when Cook did it. Same team, same score, same result. And they did it again. Find their asses. What's the problem here? What are you afraid? The Players Association is going to come at you? Big deal. Send a message. I told you weeks ago I would have told the team right there and then, the next person that does this celebration, we're down multiple scores, you're getting fined. End of story. I'm the head coach. End of story. It just looks ridiculous. It makes the whole league look ridiculous. What in the world must they be saying in other places? You're someone in, like, I don't know, Ireland watching a football game, and you see Jefferson dancing down 23-0. What are you thinking? You're thinking, look at this guy. He looks like a complete buffoon. That's what I would be saying. That's like if I was watching an English Premier League game, and a team was down 6-0 and they scored and it's 6-1 and they're out there doing cartwheels. I'd be like, what is this guy doing? They just don't get it, some of these players. They just don't get it. And you know how they would get it? Fine their asses. Fine them. Because I know they care about money. Then you'd put a stop to it. This celebration thing is completely out of control. It's sickening. I can't. Listen, I love NFL more than anyone. And a lot of my friends have stopped watching the NFL. And I'm here week after week in the grind. Well, I'm not anti-NFL. I'm not anti-player. I'm not. Please. No. Take that somewhere else. But this is ridiculous. Pterodactyl. Bunny hop, find their asses. And do it now. And Zimmer should go and take Cousins with you. Blow it up in Minnesota. It's over. Minnesota had a nice team. They had a decent run there. It's over. Their defense isn't the same. Cousins stinks. Zimmer looks lost. Blow it up. They're 1-5. Their season's over. They're going in the wrong direction. And for the last time, find their asses. And do it now. Pick number 1. Let's go to the Meadowlands in New Jersey, not far from where I am here in New York. With the Buffalo Bills, a -12 against the New York Football Jets. Buffalo down to 4-2, lost to Kansas City. Buffalo has looked terrible the last 2 weeks. Did cover my teaser, though. But they've looked bad, especially on offense, after looking so good the first 4 weeks. Did play some really good teams, so take that into consideration. And then you got the Jets. Oh, boy, I got it. From the Vikings to the Jets. Jets 0-6. Lost to Miami, got shut out. Got shut out, folks. Joe Flacco looks like some fossil from the Triassic era. Flacco looks terrible. The team is as bad as you could possibly be. There's nothing you can say positive about the Jets, and then you listen to the coach afterwards. Well, we're trying to correct things, we're trying to correct this, and, I'm not going to give up my play calling because we're still trying to correct this, and, we're trying to correct this, and correct this, and correct this, and correct this. Gaze, you sound like you're lost. The best thing that could happen for the Jets, and it's going to happen, they're going to lose every game. Lawrence is going to be sitting there with the number one pick if he comes out, which I think he will. I would take him. I think he's going to be a star. I don't know about Donald. I don't want to push this all on him, and I know Jet fans have said stick with Donald. I would go with Lawrence. It's just such a train wreck. I mean, what in the world are the Jets doing every week? I mean, they don't even score. 10 points, 10 points, 0 points. I mean, they don't even score. By the way, they let Le'Veon Bell go, I see. Le'Veon Bell ends up in Kansas City from the Jets to the Chiefs. Oh, boy. Oh, my goodness. Wow. That really worked out for you, New York Football Jets. 0-6. 14 teaser people. You get 12 points. Move it to pick 'em and take Buffalo. I don't care which way you go. You got to take Buffalo. And I know there's an old rule in the NFL. If a team is shut out, you usually pick them the next week with the spread. Good luck with the Jets. They're going to break that rule. Buffalo will have 2 losses. They will hammer the Jets this week. Hammer the Jets. And Mr. Joe Flacco, who's stinko. And the Jets get a big 0. Buffalo. Any way you want it. I don't care what the rule says. The Jets will break every rule known to man. Buffalo will stampede them this week. Off of 2 losses, here come the Jets. They look awfully tasty. 0-6. I cannot believe they said in the offseason that no one was giving them any respect. They were just a laughingstock. They're beyond bad. They're worse than anyone could have even imagined. The only team in the league with no wins. New York Football Jets. Again. Buffalo, pick number 1. Pick number 2, let's go with the Mile High City in Denver, where the Kansas City Chiefs are -9 against the Denver Broncos. Denver had a nice win in New England. They're up to 2-3. Kansas City up to 5-1, beat Buffalo, got that running game cooking. The Chiefs are going to be just fine. I think Le'Veon Bell will fit in there. I think it's a good spot for him. I mean, he doesn't have to be the main guy. Chief offense is impossible to stop. I mean, they didn't even have all their weapons last night. I mean, you got to cover so many things, the wideouts, the running game. I mean, you got Mahomes who can run. They are impossible to contain. You basically have to keep them off the field. Very hard team to defend. 3-team teaser. 3 teams, you get 9 points. Move it to pick 'em and take Kansas City. Listen, I know Denver had a nice win in New England. I cannot see them beating the Chiefs. The Chiefs have just too much firepower for Denver. I mean, I would be really impressed if the Broncos won this game, and they're usually a very good home team. This is asking too much. 3-team teaser. I like the Chiefs. That's pick number 2. Pick number 3, let's go out to Los Angeles, the City of Angels, with the LA Chargers are -8.5 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Chargers 1-4 coming off the bye. Jacksonville down to 1-5, got hammered at home by Detroit. Jacksonville's lost 5 in a row. How did Jacksonville beat the Colts in week 1? Boy, the Colts would love to have that game back. If the Colts would have won that game, they'd be 5-1. You think they don't regret losing that game? Oh my goodness, ouch. Jacksonville back to the Jacksonville we know and love. 1-5, 5 straight. What a mess they are too. Oh my goodness. 2-team teaser, move it to 2.5 and take the Chargers. You cannot think Jacksonville is going to go all the way out to LA and beat the Chargers. Jacksonville hasn't won a game in 5 weeks. And the Chargers are due. They've been in a lot of close games. It's time for them to beat up on someone. They're going to beat up on the Jaguars in Los Angeles. That's pick number 3. Pick number 4. Let's go down to Nashville, Tennessee. Great game here with the Pittsburgh Steelers, a -2.5 against the Tennessee Titans. How about Tennessee? They're 5-0. Beat Buffalo and the Texans in overtime since the last time I talked to you. I did include Tennessee in my win tally because I had picked them the week before, but that was a Tuesday game, so I added it to this week's win total. How about Tennessee? 5-0, doing it again. Coming back and beating the Texans. Beating Buffalo, hammering Buffalo. How about Pittsburgh? Bombed Cleveland. Pittsburgh's 5-0. Totally different team, of course, with Roethlisberger. Big loss, though, for Pittsburgh on defense. Bush tears his knee out for the year. That's a huge loss for the Steelers. Bush is on the field all the time. He's the signal caller. That is a terrible loss. Almost like when they lost Shazier a few years ago. Terrible loss there on defense. Not going to be able to replace Bush. Now, this game we talked about a few weeks ago because it was canceled. And I'm going to say the same thing I said then. Pittsburgh is not the same team on the road. They don't blow out teams on the road. Tennessee is getting no respect here. They're a 2.5-point dog at home and they're undefeated. I move the line to 8.5 and I take the Titans. Pittsburgh, again, never blows anyone out on the road. Tennessee's in a lot of close games, and Pittsburgh just lost one of their best defensive players, Bush, for the year. I think this game will be close. It's a must-watch. I cannot see either one of these teams blowing the other one out, but I look at the spread and I say Tennessee's getting no respect. I move it to 8.5 and take the Titans. That's pick number 4. Pick number 5. Here's another nice game. Let's go out to Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. Does Wayne Newton still play shows out in Vegas? He's a silly little character, isn't he? He's a silly looking character, that Wayne Newton. I know he's probably a good performer and he can sing and all that. He is a silly looking character. It's like a cartoon character almost. Anyway, Tampa Bay -3 against the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders 3-2 off the bye and off that huge win in Kansas City 2 weeks ago. Tampa Bay, and I picked Tampa Bay last week. Up to 4-2, just stomped on Green Bay, and they fell behind 10-0, and they just laid the wood on the Packers. I had a feeling Tampa Bay was going to show up for this game. Remember, I said this would be like a Super Bowl game for Tampa Bay, and they sure as heck played like it. They laid the wood on the Pack. They stomped them out. 38-10, I lost track. And it was 10-0 Packers early. Very nice win by Tampa Bay. Very important win for Tampa Bay. And oh, by the way, they had no penalties. You see, when you don't commit penalties, they were the most penalized team in the league. They didn't have any. You win 38-10 over one of the best teams in football. This is a tremendous game. I move the line to 9 and take the Raiders. Raiders week off, coming off the Chief win. Tampa Bay now 2 tough games in a row. They're not going to have, they're not going to have it all their way this week. No. That doesn't happen 2 weeks in a row against really good teams. This will be a closer game. You can be sure of that. Chucky Gruden is going to school on what Tampa Bay did last week. He's going to school. He's in the laboratory. Cooking up something for this week. This should be a high-scoring game. Both teams should score. I like the Raiders with 9. It's such a tough game. You got to go Raiders 9 in a 2-team teaser. Hard to pick a winner here either way. Very good game. Pick number 5. Pick number 6, let's go to the desert in Arizona. With the Seattle Seahawks a -4 against the Arizona Cardinals. Seattle 5-0 coming off the bye. Arizona up to 4-2. Just destroyed Dallas. Just destroyed them in the Big D. Very interesting game. Very tough game. Division game. I'm going to move the line to 10 and take Arizona. I think this game is going to be close. Seattle is in a lot of close games, but they win them all. I think this game will be close. So I'm going to move it to 10 and take the Cardinals. Looked really good last night. I think they're going to be very up for this game. Seattle might be due for a loss. I mean, kind of squeaking some games out, like the Packers may be due. And that's not an insult to Seattle. You can't go undefeated. But I definitely like Arizona plus 10 in a two-team teaser. 10 points at home. I love that. And by the way, Pittsburgh, Tennessee, Tampa Bay Raiders, Seattle, Arizona. Those are some nice games right there. Arizona, two-team teaser. Pick number 6. Pick number 7. Go with the jungle in Cincinnati. With the Cleveland Browns, a -3.5 against the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals down to 1-4-1. Lost to Indianapolis. Had a huge lead. Blew it. Bengals have been competitive. Don't have much to show for it. But I do like what I see from the young rookie quarterback Burrow. I think he's going to be good. Cleveland. I was singing your praises, Cleveland. Cleveland down to 4-2. Got bombed by Pittsburgh. Terrible performance by the Browns. Terrible performance by Mayfield. Receivers now, going to be squawking, Landry, Beckham, blah, 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 blah. This was the bad Cleveland. This was the Cleveland we saw in week 1 against the Ravens. So that when they played the Ravens and the Steelers, they got their ass kicked. When they played some of the, mediocre weaklings, they won. So Cleveland, probably can handle, certain teams, but when they step up, not going to go well. Mayfield didn't play well at all. And he said it had nothing to do with him being banged up. That was a pitiful performance by the Browns against your division rival, a team you got into it with last year, and that's what you lay down? No disgrace if you lose the game. Can you at least show something? Talk about backpedaling. You did all that nice work for 4 weeks, and you just gave it all back there. Oh, they look terrible, Cleveland. Awful. Ugh. I'm going to move the line to 9.5 and take the Bengals. I get 9.5 points. I get the Bengals at home, and the Bengals have been in every one of their games. And they should be in this game. And the first time these two teams played in Cleveland on a Thursday night, it was 35-30. It was a very close game. And that's when the Bengals had a short week and they had to travel. Now they're home, 9.5 points with my two-team teaser. I like the Bengals to at least hang around in this game. That's pick number 7. Pick number 8. Let's go to the NFC East. Yes. NFC East. Yes. With the Dallas Cowboys, -3.5 against the Washington football team. Washington down to 1-5, lost to the Giants. They go for 2 at the end, didn't make it. Dallas down to 2-4, just got bombed by Arizona. Nice performance, Dallas, on Monday Night Football. I understand the quarterback was out, but you had Dalton, who's a very experienced quarterback in there, and he did rally the team to win last week. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. That was an awful performance by the Cowboys. 2 turnovers by Dalton, 2 by Elliott. I guess we could stop calling him the next Jim Brown. Fumble. Hold on to the ball, Elliott. 4 turnovers at least. I lost track. This game was over early. Elliott fumble, touchdown. Elliott fumble, touchdown. Dalton interception, touchdown. Dalton interception, touchdown. It was just a mess. Dallas stinks. The whole division stinks. Nice performance, Dallas, on Monday Night Football. You couldn't do better than that? You couldn't do better than that? You couldn't do better than that? Oh, awful. Washington at 1-5 is a game out of first place. The Giants at 1-5 are a game out of first place. Philly, with their 1 win, I think they're a half a game out of first place. Dallas at 2-4 is still in first place. 4-seed home game. Oh yeah! NFC East coming at you. Do you realize that Washington, if they win this game, could potentially be in first place at 2-5? Do you realize that? Are you kidding me? I'm moving it to 9.5 and taking Washington. I get 9.5 points. I get Washington. This is a huge rivalry, and Dallas showed me nothing last night. And I know Washington stinks too. You got 2 stinkeroos here. So it should be close. And McCarthy, you should thank your lucky stars you had Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback, because you would never win in the Super Bowl without him. McCarthy doesn't look good on Dallas. He just keeps expanding. Like I said, he looks like the blob on the sidelines. He's shown me nothing as a head coach. Nothing. And Packer fans warned me about this, and I tried to say, oh, he's a good offensive coach. He's got a Super Bowl. The Packers were always in the playoffs. And they told me he doesn't do anything about defense. He doesn't change anything. And he had Aaron Rodgers. Packer fans, you were right. McCarthy, you're a blob. He's shown me nothing. 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 I don't like him at all as a head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Not at all. But I'm going to take Washington here, plus 9.5, in just a sloppy, messy. All you need for this game is rain. This game should be played in a torrential downpour with these two teams. Have Elliott fumbling the ball all over the place. Dalton mucking it up. Washington, you know they're not any good. And the two owners, how about those two? Oh, if I... please, whatever network this game is on, do not show either one of them. They get too much airtime. Jerry Jones looks like the Mad Hatter. It's enough. Don't show either one of those guys. And they usually only show them when something goes their way. You know, Dallas kicks a game-winning field goal. Let's go right up to Jerry Jones hugging somebody. Washington, pick number 8. Pick number 9. Oh, here's a great game. Let's go to Atlanta. With the Atlanta Falcons at -3 against the Detroit Lions. Atlanta up to 1-5, beat Minnesota. Give Atlanta credit with the interim coach. Showed some life. Detroit up to 2-3. Did beat Jacksonville. Detroit with a win here can actually get up to 3-3. I'm going to move it to 9 and take the Lions just because, again, it's one of those games. I cannot pick a winner. I don't think either one of these teams can blow out the other. To me, I would go nowhere near this game. But if I had to pick it, I'd take Lions plus 9. It's a big game for Detroit. They can get up to 3-3, which for them is great. And I know Atlanta won last week. I got to see that they can do this back-to-back weeks. Let's see. Again, to me, this is a throwout. But if I had to pick it here, 2-team teaser, move it to 9, take the Lions. Should be a close game. Pick number 9. Pick number 10. I think this is the Thursday night football game. Another great Thursday night football game. Oh, my goodness. Let's go to Philadelphia. With the Philadelphia Eagles on -3.5 against the New York Football Giants. Giants up to 1-5, hung on to beat Washington. The Giants were knocking on the door for a win the last few weeks, and they finally kicked in that door. They've been hanging around the last few weeks, the Giants. Right there with Dallas, right there with the Rams, right there with the Bears, came up short. They kind of were due for a win, and they got it against Washington. Philadelphia down to 1-4-1, fell way behind Baltimore, came back with a lot of points in the fourth quarter, but missed a 2-pointer at the end. The Eagles fall just short. Eagles a half a game out of first place at 1-4-1. And with all the injuries, and now the tight end is out this week. I'm going to move it to 9.5 and take the Giants. Again, it's kind of like some of these other games I talked about. It's hard to separate these kind of teams. They're both equally bad. They have a lot of flaws, a lot of injuries. So you got to think it's going to be messy, and you got to think it's going to be close. The Giants have been in a lot of games recently. And do you really think the Eagles, do you trust them against anybody? 9.5, I take the Giants. Again, I don't bet Thursday Night Football, but that's the way I would go. 2-team teaser. Giants plus 9.5. That's pick number 10. Pick number 11. Let's go to the Superdome, New Orleans. Mardi Gras. Fat Tuesday. Who dat? Who dat? With the New Orleans Saints at -7 against the Carolina Panthers. Carolina down to 3-3, lost to Chicago. Saints 3-2 coming off the bye. Very important division game here. Saints get their top receiver back this week, I believe. I'm going to move the line to 1 and take the Saints. I just think the Saints, off the bye, in their building, best receiver back, I think they're just a little too much for Carolina. And Carolina has battled, and they've scratched, and they've been in every game. And I give them credit after they lost McCaffrey. I just think this is asking a little too much. I think New Orleans is going to win. That's why I move it to 1 and take the Saints at home. Who dat? Pick number 11. Pick number 12, let's go up to New England with the New England Patriots at -2.5 against the San Francisco 49ers. Niners up to 3-3, just bamboozled the Rams. The Niners, who looked awful the previous 2 weeks, really came to play in this game. They played like a team that needed this game or their season was going to be, going the other way. The Niners played a really good game. They jumped on the Rams early. They really deserved to win that game. Garoppolo looked good. Niners looked a lot better last week after looking terrible against Philly and Miami. They really came to play, probably saved their season. Now, they still got work to do, 3-3 in that division. That saved their season for the time being. That was an important win against the Rams. New England down to 2-3, lost to Denver at home. Oh, what an awful performance by the Patriots, especially on offense. And Cam Newton played. Oh, I thought the Patriots would play a lot better. Even Belichick couldn't save them here. Had all the virus, the canceled games. Oh, the Patriots looked awful. Oh, they were painful. And as bad as they were, they almost came back and had a chance to pull it out at the end. But they fell way behind. They were down 18-3 in the second half of this game. That was a pitiful performance by the Patriots. That's one of the worst Patriot performances I've seen at home in a long time. I'm moving it to 8.5 and taking the Niners. The Niners showed me a lot last week, and New England showed me nothing. And I know New England's always capable, and they're desperate this week, and this is a tricky game. But off of last week, I'm moving it to 8.5 and taking the Niners. I think it's going to be close. I really do. Niners, pick number 12. Pick number 13. Let's go out to LA again with the LA Rams are -6 against the Chicago Bears. This might be the Monday Night Football game. I don't think there's a Sunday night game this week because of the World Series. I believe this is the Monday Night Football game. LA Rams -6 against the Chicago Bears. Rams down to 4-2, lost to the Niners. That was not a good performance by the Rams. A disappointing performance by the Rams. How about the Bears? 5-1, going to Carolina and win. How about the Bears at 5-1? And I told you last week about their defense. Their bread and butter. They can make stops, and not many teams in this league can do that. Now listen, we know they got all sorts of problems on offense, and I do think Foles gives them a better chance to win than Trubisky. But they have problems on offense. But their defense can make stops, and that can keep you in the game. 5-1. Chicago. Tremendous job by them. Tremendous job by them. Hard to believe they're 5-1. You don't think it, but they are. 5-1 Chicago Bears. And oh, by the way, 5-1 is good enough for first place in that division, by the way. They are ahead of Green Bay by a half a game, I believe. I'm going to move the line to 12 and take Chicago. I just said they can make some stops. The Rams, off of last week, deserve to be 6-point favorites over a team that's 5-1. Why? What did the Rams show you last week? The Niners beat them up. Beat them up. I think this game's going to be at least close. I'll take the Bears with 12, the way they're playing, especially on defense. Rams, they could be spotty sometimes. You saw that last week. You saw that against the Giants when they were sleepwalking. Now, they've had a lot of road games, the Rams. And I'm not saying they can't win this game, but if I'm going to bet this game, two-team teaser, 12 points, Bears. Pick number 13. And the final pick, pick number 14. Let's go down to Houston, Texas. That's Houston with a big capital U, not H. For us New Yorkers, Houston. The Green Bay Packers are minus 3.5 against the Houston Texans. Green Bay down to 4-1, got destroyed by Tampa Bay. Now listen, I think Green Bay is going to be just fine, but that was a bad loss. They were up 10-0 in this game, and they got ambushed in Tampa Bay. Ambushed. Texans down to 1-5, lost in overtime to Tennessee. Okay, let's talk two-point conversion. Romeo Crennel is the interim coach right now, and again, I've been saying this for years. Too many coaches are getting cute with the two-point conversion. The Texans go up 7 late in the fourth quarter. What you should do there is kick the extra point and go up 8. That'll force Tennessee to not only score, but get the two-point conversion, which is not easy. Romeo Crennel wants to reinvent the wheel after all these years. Now they got all these stats and analytics, and you should go for 2 here. And if you get, you get the 2-pointer here, you have a 99% chance of winning. But okay, what if you don't get the 2 there? 2-pointers are not easy to get. So instead of going up 8 with the point after, you try and go for 2 to go up 9. They don't get it. It sits on 7. Tennessee comes down and scores, kicks the extra point. We go to overtime. Tennessee wins the toss, goes right down the field and wins, and the Texans never touch the ball. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. I know everything's about analytics now and all this new school stuff. How about just your gut feeling on what you should do? I'm the coach there. Kick the extra point, go up 8. Tennessee has to score and has to get the 2 just to tie. Nope, not Romeo Crennel. We're going to go for 2 to try and go up 9. Because we have a 99% chance of winning if we get it. Well, what if you don't get it, which you didn't? And what you also do when you keep the number on 7, Tennessee scores, then if they go for 2, they could beat you. They could beat you. Why put yourself in that position? Stop overthinking. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel with all these new school rules. I love when ESPN during a game puts up the probability of a team winning. The probability of this team winning right now is 93.8%. What does that mean? What does 93.8% mean? And what does it mean if they say 82% compared to 93%? Come on! Enough! I got on Tomlin years ago when every time he scored, he was going for 2. And a lot of the times the Steelers weren't making it and he was throwing away points. Finally, he came to his senses and he doesn't do that as much anymore. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel, coaches. The play there was to kick the extra point and go up 8. Make Tennessee score and go for 2 and make it just to tie. It's not easy getting 2-point conversions. Nope, not Romeo Crennel. I'm going to go for 2 to go up 9. I don't get it. Bink, 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 bink. We lose again. 1-5 Texans. How did that work out for you? What was the probability of that? Oh, boy. Between the Vikings, the Jets, the Cowboys, and the 2-point conversion, I'm going to lose my voice. When I look at this game, and this is not one of my favorite plays, if I was going teaser, I'd move it to 9.5 and take the Texans. If you asked me who was going to win, I would think Green Bay would find a way to respond after last week and win the game. I'm not going to play this game. It's an eerie game. Green Bay's only a 3.5-point favorite over a team that's 1-5. It's eerie. And I said that last week about the Rams-Niners, and look what happened. And I took the Rams last week. I didn't bet them, but I picked them here. I wouldn't bet this game. If you asked me who was going to win, I'd say Green Bay responds and they win. If you ask me teaser, tempted to take the 9.5, you get 9.5 and the home team. You know I love that. That's the way I would play that game, but not one of my favorite plays. Not one of my favorite plays. Okay, there you go. You guys are all caught up. You guys are all set for week number 7. I promise you guys in the next few weeks I'll open up the comments section. I'll talk to you guys on the comments section in the next few weeks. I'll also have up next week the donation button. I know you guys, some of you guys want to donate to the show. That'll be up next week. I was hoping to be in a new studio this year. It's not going to happen. Just can't get in there. Built a new studio last year. Really nice. Can't get in there. Just can't do it. Won't let me in. But anyway, you guys are all caught up. You guys are all set. Stay happy, healthy, and safe. Pick a lot of winners. Make a lot of money. Go slow. I know it's not easy with all the virus, the injuries, the cancellations. Not easy to pick games. But if you do, pick a lot of winners. Make a lot of money. More importantly, stay happy, healthy, and safe. Thanks for the support. Best audience in all of YouTube. I'll talk to you next Tuesday for week number 8. Take care.